Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the Jerry Rick Podcast. My name is Jerry Sherstead, and today we've got a great episode because we're going to look at this concept other than getting a job, and it essentially comes down to starting your own business. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. This episode is called Stop Looking for a Job, okay? 5 reasons to start a Salesforce Consultancy. and why it's actually easier than you might think. In the meantime, we're going to get things rolling. We got our little introduction. We want to make sure we get into a mental state where we can groove out a little bit. So have some fun with it.
Yeah.
This is the Jerry Rigged Podcast, your no-nonsense knowledge base for business technology, marketing, and analytics. And now your host, Jerry Surstead.
If you are listening to this on, let me make sure I don't have the music. There we go. Let's see here. So, hey, welcome. It's Tuesday. The week is still early. Friday is got a couple days off. But if you're looking for a job, let's say, which a lot of folks are, it's kind of getting to the point where we're going to have to get creative, right? We're going to have to get creative and think really hard about doing things that are a little out of the box. Let's see. So some folks might say, oh, sounds complicated. Why would I start my own business? Well, it's actually a lot easier and a lot more simple than you might think. But one of the primary reasons that I love this concept about starting your own business is that, especially your own Salesforce Consultancy, is that you are able to create a situation where you have virtually twice as much flexibility, twice as many possibilities for jobs, work. And if you think about it, what's the difference between a W-2 job and having your own business? At a certain level, there's not a whole lot of difference. If you're out trying to find a W-2 job, just a regular run-of-the-mill Salesforce role, admin, developer, business analyst, whatever, you're applying to a company that's going to hire you and bring you on for work. And then, of course, you got benefits and all that stuff. When you have your own business, you're also going to go out and try to find clients as well. And the difference is that you own your own business, so you kind of manage your own taxes and that sort of thing. But typically, you're going to make virtually double as a consultant with your own company than you would as a W-2 role. And in top line revenue, because below that, you got to pay for your expenses, and that's understandable. Advertising, cell phones. You can write a whole bunch of stuff off. There's a bunch of reasons, but we're going to start here and we're going to kind of get going here with the presentation and really talk about some of these reasons why setting up and managing and owning your own consultancy you can do, but it doesn't have to be an either or. You can have your own business and look for a job. You can have your own W-2 job and your own company all at the same time. If you get a W-2 job and you're working 40, 50 hours a week, then maybe you're just taking on stuff that you're going to work on in the evening or on the weekends, maybe. But if you're looking for a role and you also have your own business, now you can take on two different types of jobs, right? Two different types of projects. So let's get into that. We're going to take a look at this right here. Let's see where we're at. Let me make sure I got my slides going here. There we go. And we're going to get rid of this. There we go. Okay, now we're looking good. I got another layout here that I want to use. There we go. 5 reasons to start your own consultancy. I think you're going to like this. So just some folks have wondered why I put on these podcasts. I do this because I love teaching. I love working with people and connecting. I also have been coaching quite a few years. I've owned about 10 different companies. I've done multiple startups for other companies. I've been doing business and marketing consulting, technology consulting for about 25 years. I have a background in marketing, graphic design, branding, and technology, of course, Salesforce and CRMs and all that stuff. I also spent 10 years in broadcast radio in Seattle back in the 80s and 90s. So, I've been doing some coaching lately with podcasting with folks that want to start their own podcasts. So, okay, let's see here. Let's keep things rocking. Today's goal, get you to think differently. I want you to think outside the box. Don't get stuck in this. You got to get up, got to go to work 9 to 5, punch the time clock, go home, feed your family, and do it all over again for the rest of your life. You don't have to do that. Everybody can do what I'm about to present here. So here's official reason number 1 for starting your own Salesforce consultancy. And that is, let me make sure we don't have any comments here. Okay. Hello, everybody. We're getting Louisa saying hello. Hey, Louisa. The first reason is independence and flexibility. Now, back to the concept. Now, thinking outside the box, you can have a job, you can own your own company, you can do them both at the same time. You could only have a job, you can only have your own company. You can be independent. So you have this level of flexibility, and by starting your own Salesforce consultancy, it means you're the boss. When you start your own company, you ever work for a company and you're coming up with ideas and maybe your manager feels like maybe you're trying to push too many changes? When I was younger, I remember the old guys saying, well, if you want to do things your way, then you go start your own company. And I thought, I think I'll do that. So the beautiful thing about owning your own company, it's your company. You can call it what you want. You can make it look like what you want. You can also hire yourself. Yep, you can hire yourself. And you don't have to tell anybody that you work for this company that happens to also be owned by you. So that gives you other flexibilities, like experience, like on your LinkedIn profile. And I'm going to show you how that works. Your LinkedIn profile could have your company. Let's say you started a company called ABC Consulting. Well, ABC Consulting now is on LinkedIn. It's in your profile and you work for the company. And you don't want to put, I'm the owner. You want to put, I'm a Salesforce administrator. That way it keeps the confusion down to a minimum. Then, if, hiring managers ever ask, you can always tell them. So that's not a big deal. So you can get up in the morning, do whatever you want, however you want. As long as you're taking care of your customers, that's all that matters, right? So this is super invaluable. All right. Reason number 2 for starting your own Salesforce consultancy. Salesforce is in high demand for experts. The CRM, Salesforce, as we know, is the number 1 CRM in the world. And they're in high demand. They just across the board. There's some more high demand than other areas. But starting a consultancy, you're not just looking for a job. You are able to take on your own clients. You can connect with local companies, small companies. Maybe there's some small businesses in your area and they can't afford to spend $350 an hour for some big, large consultancy like Accenture or Slalom, but they can afford $125 an hour. Maybe you're working for them for $125 an hour. Maybe they only have 20 users. It doesn't make sense for them to work with some of these big consultancies. So you might be a perfect fit for that. So think about that. High demand for Salesforce experts, especially in the small to medium business space. Reason number 3, it's a scalable business model. Here's the deal. I'm not a developer. but I know a ton of developers, and a ton of developers are available out there in the freelance space. So you get a client that comes on and they're like, well, we need somebody to do an implementation for us. Plus, we want somebody to do ongoing monthly administration and management. But we also want to do some customization. So you might think in your head, I'm not a developer. I don't know how to do this, so I can't take on this job. No. As a business owner of the consultancy, you can be a little more like a orchestrator, like a general contractor. Many home builders, in fact, most, are orchestrators. The owner of the general contractors generally is not out there hammering nails. They hire framers, they hire carpet layers, they hire foundation people, they hire people to install the roof. And as a consultancy, you're kind of like a general contractor. So you might have a client that has certain needs that you personally don't have the skills to do. That's okay. You're going to take on that job. You're going to give them a bid, a quote. They sign off on the quote and say, let's get started. You start coordinating and pulling in other freelancers, other developers or architects or whatever the case may be. And you're coordinating the whole thing. You're managing the contract. You're paying your folks. You're paying yourself, and you're paying your business. So think about it from that standpoint. So you can scale up as big as you want, or you can scale down. You can be, I know a lady who has a admin business. All she does is admin work. That's it. She works from home. She has her own business, and she does very well. She's super smart. So you can do that as well. It gives you that flexibility. So it's scalable. You can be as small or as big as you want, really. Reason number 4 to start your own Salesforce consultancy. You can showcase your expertise. You have a lot more flexibility of talking about all the different things you can do. Your business can offer development, customization, even though you personally don't do it, but you can offer that. When you're trying to get a job and you can't really go out and, I'm going to use this scenario. Let's say you're an administrator and you got some business analyst background, but you don't like me. I'm not a developer. I don't develop stuff. I don't write code. It's just that part of my brain doesn't work. So, but I do advertise that I offer those services because I have lots of other folks that I can work with. So I showcase my expertise on multiple levels for my company. Now, on a personal level, when I'm applying for W-2 jobs, I don't talk about that stuff because that's not where my expertise lies. So starting a consultancy allows you to build a portfolio of successful projects. So now you can have a job where you do some projects, and you can have your own consultancy where you also do some projects, and you're going to use that expertise in your portfolio, in your jobs section. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, my mistake. LinkedIn, little secret, they do not have a jobs section. No such thing on LinkedIn. There's an area where you can put your jobs, and that's called the experience section. So you need to think about your LinkedIn profile. The experience section is just that. The experience is jobs, volunteer work, projects. Let's see what else. Internships. Let's say you do a little side project for a friend of yours who owns a company, and they have Salesforce. That goes on there. And I encourage you to stop putting all these qualifiers that water down your experience. Like if you look on my profile, my LinkedIn profile, what you'll notice that there's no words that say business owner, CEO, owner, founder, intern, babysitter, none of that stuff. All that's gone. I don't have part-time, full-time next to all of my jobs. I just have experience. I worked here. I have experience. I did this project. That's experience. I did this project. That's experience. So think in terms of that. If you're in an interview and they ask you about it, you can always tell them, but most of the time, I guarantee you, they'll never ask. So anyway, the ability to showcase your experience. Reason number 5, financial benefits. So here's the deal. Almost every recruiter, and I get 3, 4, 5 recruiters that contact me every single day for Salesforce business analyst roles. Sometimes Salesforce marketing cloud roles comes through, and I know a fair amount, but not enough to like really want to go that direction. But the financial benefits, when recruiters call you, many times their client needs somebody with experience to do work. These clients don't care whether you come on board as a W-2. Now, these are some clients, probably at least 50%. They don't care whether you come on as a W-2 employee, which is actually costs them more money and is more work. They don't care whether you come on as a W-2 employee. They don't care whether you come on as a corp to corp contractor. In other words, your business that works with their business. That's called C2C or corp to corp. They don't care whether you come on with a contract with a possibility to be hired. There's multiple ways you can do that. And when you have your own company, your own LLC, now you got more flexibility. So you get paid more historically when you're on corp to corp. So typically a recruiter will call and say, hey, do you prefer W-2 or corp to corp? We're paying $60 an hour if you're W-2, and we're paying $70 an hour on corp to corp. Now, here's why I like corp to corp, my business that bills and invoices their business. Here's why I like that. A, I'm making another $10 an hour. B, they're not taking any taxes out. If I work 10 hours at $70 an hour, I'm going to bill them for $700 and invoice them for that. And they're going to pay me $700. And then I get to decide what I'm going to write off and what money I got to set aside for taxes and that sort of thing. So it gives you a lot of flexibility and you can make more money. Now, while some of these roles might pay, like for instance, a Salesforce business analyst might pay $60, $70 an hour. When you have your own consultancy on the very low end, you're charging between $130 and $150 an hour. Think about that. You can double your income. Many freelancers are charging $200 an hour. Matter of fact, Brian Rice, the owner of Talent Stacker, he actually for years was charging $200 an hour, and he was working 20 hours a week. And he made that his goal to spend more time with his family and work 20 hours a week. So think about that. So 20 hours a week at $200 an hour is like working full time at $100 an hour. So he's making like stupid good money, and he's only working 20 hours a week. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So that's the financial benefits. 1099 corp to corp roles means you can optimize your earnings and tax benefits, making more money for you and your family. All right. Reason number 6, access to a global market. When you own your own business, you can work with anyone in the world. Think about how many hundreds of thousands of businesses out there use Salesforce. And not all of them have 5,000 users. There's a huge chunk. Now, I don't know what the numbers are. My guess, it's at least a third of the businesses, if not close to half, that have probably less than 100 users. That's all opportunity for small guys like you and me. So you can reach this global market. That's a very compelling reason. Salesforce is used worldwide, huge demand for experts. The global means you're not limited to just local clients. You can work with businesses from all over the world. So that's something to keep in mind. All right. We went past 5, so I hope you like that. We got more than 5 reasons. Today was supposed to be 5 reasons, but I thought, I got more reasons here. So let's put them on the list. Reason number 7, continuous learning and growth. We all know the Salesforce ecosystem is all about learning, Trailhead, and all that stuff. So when you step into the world of owning your own business, there's even more of a compelling reason to continue learning, to continue getting more education, and just, you can add a few more certs, Customers and your potential clients, 80% of them know nothing about the Salesforce ecosystem. Almost all of them don't even know what a Salesforce administrator certification is. But if you got that, you probably got 90% of the battle done. If you have more certifications, that just means you know more about other things other than just being an admin. So anyway, continuous learning and growth, definitely part of the Salesforce ecosystem. Here's what I like. And here in a minute, I'm going to show you what I did in the process that I went through. That'll kind of give you something to take some notes on. Reason number 8, build a personal brand. I don't know if you've seen me on LinkedIn. Well, obviously you have. You're here. Let's see here. I'm going to share my other screen here. Let's see here. There we go. Share screen. Share screen. And we're going to go over here. There we go. Okay, let's see. Over here, you can see me. I'm just making sure I'm doing this right. So if you look on my personal brand, I got my profile there. You notice I'm branded. My colors are kind of this black and lime green, okay? So when you go to my profile, everything is black and lime green. Well, we got a little bit of blue there. And everything is built around that. And then you'll also notice that if you go to, let's see, Sumo, or I'm sorry, you go here to events. Let's see, events. There we go. All events. So I have a branded page here under events, and that's where I do all of my podcasting. So having your own personal brand, your own personal identity, like what I got, is really a great way to go. And one of the things that I love about it is that it actually, it makes you seem more valuable than maybe you really are. There's a thing called bigger than life. And when you see somebody on video, this is always cracked me up. When you see somebody on TV, like, Brad Pitt, he's bigger than life. If you see that guy in a real person, you're like, oh my gosh, I met Brad Pitt. Well, who's Brad Pitt? He's just a guy. He's an actor. But because you've seen him 18 billion times in the movies or on TV, he becomes bigger than life. Well, there's some of that also in YouTube, in radio, LinkedIn. There are some people that are on LinkedIn as influencers that I've been seeing every day, all day long for years. I don't know them, never met them, but if I see them in real life, I'll know who they are, and I'll be thinking in my head, oh, it's kind of cool. I met blah, blah, blah. And that's that bigger than life thing. So when you create your own personal brand, sometimes you can become bigger than life for hiring managers or recruiters. And not only do you have the skill set that they need at that time, but you're worth a little bit more because you know your stuff. You're an influencer on LinkedIn and they've seen you and heard you, and you're a little bit bigger than life. So personal branding is super important. Not everybody has to do it. It takes a special kind of person, somebody who's kind of doesn't mind getting in front of the camera. And so this personal brand opens doors, speaking engagements, partnerships, other opportunities that can further elevate your career and consultancy. So something to think about. Reason number 9, create job opportunities for others. That's kind of cool. You start your own consultancy. You get a couple of decent sized contracts. Wow. Now you're making good money and you need help. You're able to hire people, give jobs to other people. That's kind of cool too. That comes with its own headaches. At a certain level, it's kind of like herding cats. So that's cool. Create job opportunities for others. You're not just building a business, but you're contributing to the ecosystem. So there's some other cool stuff that comes into starting your own Salesforce consultancy. And then reason number 10, high level of client satisfaction. The nature of a Salesforce consultancy often leads to higher levels of customer satisfaction because they're working direct with the owner. You're giving them personalized service. You have a vested interest in your business and making sure it's successful. And in order to be successful, your customers have to be happy, right? Happy. So higher level of client satisfaction. So there you go. I give you 10 reasons. So how to get started. Here's what you got to do to start your own consultancy. I always kind of sort of recommend, and you're going to have to talk to an attorney, maybe, but these days it's really easy to form an LLC, limited liability company. You do that because the company is its own entity. The company is its own person. So if something goes haywire, which I don't know how it would, but if something goes haywire and a customer goes to sue you, the only thing they'll really be able to sue is your company. And if your company has basically, in my company, I have a laptop. That's all of the assets my company has. So if they sue my company, they're going to get a laptop and that's it. They can't get any of your personal belongings. If you form a sole proprietorship, which in most states costs about $20 to get going, that sole proprietorship, you are the business. So if they sue your business, they're suing you personally, which means they can take your house, they can take your car, they can take whatever. So LLC is usually a great way to go. I've used LegalZoom. In the state of Arizona, you can form an LLC for about $50. In the state of Washington, where I used to live, it's about $175. So every state is a little bit different. Go online, get your business license going, create your name, and create your LLC, pay for it, and then boom, you're off and running. Real quick about LLCs versus branding. Don't use the word LLC in your brand. There's a thing called a DBA, doing business as. So every LLC can do business as multiple names if they want. You could form an LLC called ABC LLC, DBA, Bob's Landscaping Business, DBA, Susie's Babysitting Service. You could have all these brands. So my company is Sumo Lab LLC, and nobody ever sees that, but I do business as just Sumo Lab. Ford Corporation does business as Ford. See where I'm going there? So if anybody has any questions, just fire them off in the chat there and I'll answer those. Get a cool one-word name. This is my marketing coming out. Think about companies, big companies. Accenture. What does that mean? Heck, I don't know. Slalom. I don't know what that means either. Get a clean, simple logo. Create your own company LinkedIn page. Build your own website. Add a job to your experience section working for your own company. And then give yourself any job title you want because you own the company. You're the owner, but you don't have to tell everybody. All right. Let's see here. Here's some of the names. Deloitte, Accenture, Coastal Cloud, Candy Box. I really like the Candy Box one. There's me in the upper right, Sumo Lab. Here's what I did. All right. So, yeah, I already kind of went over that one. So there's my logo. I'm a little bit of a graphic designer, so I came up with a very simple, clean name. Can't even tell you where I came up with Sumo Lab. I just liked the word sumo. I thought it was kind of cool. Then I thought, where would you like come up with fresh ideas? A laboratory, Sumo Lab. So that's kind of how I came at that. Then I created this little icon, which is supposed to be a little sumo wrestler. And there's like a website page from my website. Exorbitant Salesforce costs got you down. We're affordable. We're not $300 an hour. We're $150 an hour. There's my company page on LinkedIn. I got a company page, all branded under Sumo Lab. And let's see. And yeah, so that's pretty much the rundown. One of the things that I'd like to just like help you understand is that it's great to, do this whole package because it, the flexibility comes in the ability to, have a job or have a business. And I'm going to real quick show you what I got going on my LinkedIn profile. Let's see here. There we go. On my LinkedIn profile. So if you'll notice there about when I get to the experience section, there we go. Experience. See that? It does not say jobs. It says experience. I like to kind of pound that in because I think it's super important. So at the top of my experience, I got Salesforce Business Analyst, and that's the type of work that I've been doing and I'm currently doing at Sumo Lab. Now, nowhere in there does it say owner, CEO, founder, self-employed, any of those words. It just says Salesforce Business Analyst. And this is part of this added benefit that you can get by giving yourself that flexibility, right? Salesforce Business Analyst. Now, when a recruiter or a hiring manager looks at that, they're going to automatically assume that I have a job as a Salesforce Business Analyst. And guess what? I do. I do have a job. And I also have clients. And I also have corp to corp roles. And I also have contract roles. And I may potentially also have a W-2 role. And ultimately, in my world, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because remember, this area is called the experience. You have that experience. It's not called the official W-2 jobs where you work for a company other than yourself. It's not what it's called. So anyway, 90% of the interviews that I've ever had over the years, they've always assumed that I just work for them and it's a job. That's it. Every once in a while, somebody will say, hey, Sumo Lab. So talk to me a little bit about Sumo Lab. Is that your company? Which is like maybe one person out of 80 has ever asked me that question. Now, it's okay though, because when they ask that question, I go, yeah, that's my own consultancy. It gives me flexibility to take on clients, do work with you guys on a corp to corp scenario. So yeah, that's my company. But 90% of the time, they're just looking to see that you have the experience. So, and then if you dig down into more of my experience, I got projects on there. I got, clicked.com is part of my experience. Actually, I'm going into a Deloitte team sprint starting today. So that's going to be fun. So all of that's experience, folks. So that gives you that flexibility. And then we'll go over here to my company page so you can see what that company page looks like. Actually, here's the beauty of using your own company page as the company you work for is all you got to do is click on it because you created a company page. And once you do, now you got a page that is view as, there we go. That's my company page right there, Sumo Lab. It's a legitimate company. I'm an LLC. I got a logo. I got my own website. And actually, I've been rebuilding my website, and I'll give you a real quick peek at that. Redoing the website from top to bottom. Let's see here. There it goes. Let's put seasoned experience to work for your business. Sumo Lab. We help business owners like you use technology and marketing tools to communicate. So one of the things that I do is I work with startups like you, right? If you're trying to get this going and you got all the technical piece down, but you just, you're just having a hard time with the business startup, the corporation, the brand, the logo, the website, all this stuff. That's partly what I do, is that piece. And so I can build you a website. I can create a logo. I can help you come up with your company name. I have a whole process for doing that. I'm also doing some consulting for podcasting, technology, CRM, of course, and then business and marketing consulting. So I kind of took three things that I love and enjoy doing, and that I'm a little ADHD, so this kind of feeds that a little bit. But I took stuff that I love doing that I'm pretty dang good at, and that's become my business. And so I stopped trying to fight only doing one thing, which sometimes is a better way to go. I got FAQ sections, I got blog articles, and just, lots of stuff going here on Sumo Lab. So check in with me, ping me on LinkedIn, just send me a message, a DM, and, I see here, there we go. We get Jerry back on the screen again. I can help you out I can answer some questions out of the gate. And then if you're ready to like really, really get going and you want to just get this nailed down and get the train moving, that's what I do. I've been doing this for 25 years and I love it and I'm pretty dang good at it. So anyway, take care, you guys. So glad you guys could join me. And, just try to keep your head up and, always check into the Jerry Rig podcast because I always have fun, cool, interesting stuff that helps you grow business, expand your horizons, help get a job, give you innovative, out-of-the-box ideas. So enjoy your day, and thanks for coming along for the ride today. Take care.
The Jerry Rigged Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or Google. Business technology for CEOs, managers, and business owners. We're here to deliver insights and strategies without the fluff. This is the Jerry Rigged Podcast.